Good morning, everyone. So this is going to be the second iteration of Curt's Kitchen. I just woke up and I needed something pretty quick and easy to make, but is also pretty healthy. So I'm going to be walking you through the smoothie recipe that I usually make while I'm home. It's only a few ingredients. It's probably stuff you have around the house already, but if not, it's pretty cheap. So we'll go through the ingredient list now. So obviously, number one, you're gonna want your blender. This is gonna be obviously the most crucial part of blending everything together. We have some crushed pineapple. We just buy this out of the can usually. This is Stonyfield whole milk yogurt. We have about a cup of that. Also, we have a quarter cup of the crushed pineapple. Then we have about 1 scoop of just standard protein powder. I use whey for mine, just to add a little more protein in there. We have a whole banana, about 2 cups of spinach, half an avocado, some almond breeze almond milk to use to kind of oil the gears a little bit in here when there's a lot of stuff packed in. And then here, last but not least, we have a berry medley pack of frozen fruit. This is from Aldi, super cheap, super affordable. So now I guess we put it all in together. The way that I was taught to make this to avoid things getting stuck in the gears and in the blades and not cutting as well is to start with the more liquidy stuff first. So going from left to right of what I showed you, our crushed pineapple in here first, and then that'll just give a little bit of juice, but also a little bit of not super solid, but also easily cuttable solid in with all that liquid. Then second, we'll go in with the cup of yogurt. Next, we're gonna go in with the scoop of protein powder. This is where we start moving from that liquidy part to the more solid part. So this is a fine powder, so it'll get ground up pretty easily. We'll put that on top of the yogurt. Now, this is also a good time to mention that this yield is not just for one person. I'm splitting this with my mom, making it for her and I for breakfast. But usually there's some leftover even on top of that. So don't feel like you have to have all of this at once. It stays in a refrigerator overnight, so you can stretch it into 2 days. Or maybe if you're feeling really generous and you forgot to clean up or do some of the chores that you and your roommate set out, you can make this as kind of a consolation prize, and maybe it'll make up for some of that. The next part, we're gonna go into the actual solids of everything. So we're gonna toss in our spinach. And I should also say that all of these stems have been removed from these, and that's because it kind of eliminates that gummy texture that you get with those, and it makes it a lot more liquidy once everything's in there. And as you can see, this takes up a ton of space in here, so we're just gonna press it down a little bit. And then after you're done compressing that down, we have our banana, split in 2 because, I mean, it's not gonna fit in there as one. We'll go in with the star of the show, where most of the flavor comes from. I'm gonna put in our frozen berries. I'm just kind of eyeballing these, but I feel like that's probably good. I'll show it from another perspective too. It's probably about maybe a cup and a half of frozen fruit, and that should do the trick for that. And then wrapping this up, we're gonna put in avocado on top. Almond milk we're gonna put in just to kind of act as like our smoothie grease in a way. Okay, so there we have everything ready to go, except for adding a little dash of cinnamon on top just for a little bit of added flavor. I said a dash and then poured about half the thing in there. So you know what, can't win them all. All right, so now that we have all the ingredients in here, I'm gonna go up. This blender has a on-off button as well as different levels of what you wanna blend at, but you can do this also with any standard blender. We have a smoothie setting on ours, but I would probably put it on medium or high, considering we're gonna be chopping up some frozen fruits and things that might be a little tougher on the gears. So yeah, I will save your ears this part, but we're gonna get to grinding it all up and blending it. So I'll see you in a minute. All right, so I have it stopped here for just a second just to kind of demonstrate another little thing that's important to keep in mind. There might be some hidden solids in there. So we're gonna remove the top while it's off, and with our handy dandy little spatula, and just press down, make sure there's no solids stuck in there, but if there are, make sure to push them towards the blades at the bottom. Obviously do this while the machine is off. Don't risk losing a hand, utensil, or anything of the sort. But after we do this, we'll take this back out and continue with business as usual. So now we've gone through and blended it a second time, so I think we are about ready to go with serving it. So as you can see here, in terms of yield, this is 6 cups here, this is 5. So with the ingredients that we had, this makes a little over 5 cups. And split into the actual portions, I'll show you what that breaks down to be in the next clip. So I don't actually know how big these cups are. These are just what we use at home. So I'm gonna assume this is about between 8 and 12 ounces. So once I pour this out into here, we'll see what that actually works itself out to be. Now that we got that in there, that's about a full cup. And we still have approximately, so after pouring that, I've got about 3.5 cups left. So let's say a typical 12-ounce cup that you have in your kitchen will be about 2 cups worth of the smoothie mix. So you can keep this, like I said, have some for lunch later, maybe have some for breakfast the next morning. As long as it's refrigerated, it will keep well. Don't be alarmed if it turns a little green. That's normal, just happens because there's fresh fruit in it, but definitely keep it refrigerated because of the dairy and the fruit. But there you go, you got a healthy breakfast option that you can make in just a matter of minutes. Obviously do it while your roommates are awake, or else they might resent you forever for that horrible blender sound. But other than that, happy cooking, and I'll see you next time. Bye.